everyone, welcome to my channel today. I'm Tara with Pieces of Tara Artistry. Thank you for joining me. So I'm going to be doing a pearl pour with some texture over top of it today. I've just painted my edges so that I don't get canvas show through because these paints are very thin. I don't want the edges of the canvas to show through the thin paint. So what I'm going to be doing here is I am taking these paints and I am layering them. These are all base coat paints. So these all have satin enamel, and they have the satin enamel recipe. And I have listed that in the description below. But basically what I'm doing is I'm layering them so that when the pearls start popping up after I put the pour over color on, I will get a color within a color of the pearls. So I'm going to be speeding this up quite a bit today just because this process is a little bit longer. But basically what I'm doing is I'm just stretching out my base coat now. You can see how transparent all those colors are because you can see one on top of the other. And now this is my pour over color. This is a Modern Masters Gold Rush. It's a gold paint and really one of the only metallics that will actually pearl. So that is something important to know, that when you're doing a pearl pour, if you are adding your pour over colors and they are metallic, most of the time they will not pearl if they are not a Modern Masters paint. That's not 100% true of all of them, but if you're having problems with your paints pearling and you have a metallic in the pour over colors, that could be the problem. So I'm just basically stretching this pour over paint over top, and when I see that all of the edges are kind of thinned out, that means that I've poured off quite a bit of paint. And I then set this down because this is going to be a background for a texture piece. So you can see all those pearls pop through. That's a super speed up. And here's basically what it looks like, those pearls before I am finished. So here is what that base is. I've planned it out. I've got on my iPad. I've drawn out what I want this to look like. I've got my colors swatched out on the left. You see there? And this was actually a challenge that I gave to my Patreons, is to use this color palette. So I thought if I'm going to challenge them, I should take the challenge myself. I showed them the picture that is of that sunset with the palm tree. So I decided that I would kind of do that in my texture. So basically these are my supplies. I have put some of the extra heavy molding paste mixed with that Gold Rush into this piping bag. And basically I'm going to be using this piping bag when I pipe out the trunk of that palm tree. So I was just kind of putting that piping bag up to where I want that palm tree, what I've kind of drawn it out to see if it's the width that I wanted. So I set that aside. This is my palette paper that I get from Artist Loft. This again is the extra heavy molding paste from Golden. It's my favorite, mixed with that Gold Rush from Modern Masters. And basically what I'm doing is I'm using my little Fluid Art Co. number 32 palette knife to create the petals or the palm fronds here. So I'm going to do it pretty slow to start with, and then I'm going to speed this up. So basically what I am doing is the same technique that I use for my scales and for petals. It's basically the same movement. You press down and pull back and up, and that creates these little palm fronds, or the illusion of them. So this is pretty slow. Basically, I wanted to show you the close-up, and then I am going to speed it up for you. So this technique is something that I am going to be teaching at the Deer Lake retreat coming up May 23rd through 26th, and it's near Spokane, Washington. It's an all-inclusive experience. It's really a beautiful setting. It's a smaller venue, so the class sizes are smaller. It's a little more intimate, and it's an all-inclusive event. So if you're interested in that, check out the description below. It is coming up quickly, but there are still some spots available if you are interested in that. It is basically, you're going to be learning the pearl technique. We're going to be doing texture. We're going to be working on some newer texture that I've been doing. I've been sharing on Facebook and with my Patreon group, but I will be sharing a little bit more on YouTube coming up. But yeah, it's a little bit more texture and allowing that texture to dry, and then using very fluid acrylics on top of that. So it's fun stuff, and I am really, really excited about sharing, or I'm really excited to share that with the students coming up at Deer Lake. So here I make a mistake, and I just didn't like the way that palm frond was kind of looking. Usually when you're looking at the palm trees from the front, the ones that are in the back are kind of tilting towards the back. So they appear to be shorter, but they're not. So I went ahead and I just got a paper towel with water, and that acts as my eraser to erase kind of the mistake that I made. And now I am just going to continue on with these palm fronds coming down. And something you might notice is that I'm not coming all the way down into the center on each palm, each kind of arm of the palm, because once you get to that center, it kind of all needs to overlap in order for it to kind of look nice. So I stopped just short of that complete center, especially on my first two arms of the palm tree. And now I'm going back in and sort of filling in that center section just to make it look a little bit more natural. So I am going to continue on here, and I will pop back in a second. Okay, so you might have noticed from the previous frame that I had kind of erased what I had added on there originally, and now I'm just drawing lines to how I want those palm arms to be. I don't know what else to call them. I just keep calling them arms, but yeah, limbs of the palm tree. So yeah, instead of drawing out the whole palm tree shape on the top, I'm just drawing a guideline for myself. So I'm just going to start there at the top and work my way down to the trunk, and I'll pop back in when I get to the trunk. Okay, so now I'm going to start piping in that trunk. So it's just kind of a back and forth, like squishing motion. So I squeeze and I push and squish that up, and just kind of have to go slow with it. And then as I continue on, as the trunk gets smaller, I will go ahead and cut that piping bag a little bit so that the opening is a little bit larger, and go from there. And as this gets, the base of this palm tree gets bigger and bigger, the piping bag didn't really want to, the structure of it didn't really want to stay together. So now I kind of had to change what I was doing. Now I'm kind of lining it out and going back and forth to make the base of the tree. So I think it worked out okay. I was happy with how this turned out. And then later on, after everything is dry, then I went back in and got rid of those chalk marks, those white chalk marks where the trunk of the tree was. So now I'm going back in with that piping bag, and I'm going to create coconuts. So I'm going to let you watch the rest of this. If you are interested in learning this technique from me in person, along with other texture art and pearls, definitely click the link in the description box below for the Deer Lake retreat. I'd love to see you there and love to meet you. So stick around for the dry results, and I will see you on the next one. Bye, y'all.